Alright, so we've spent the day, just a few hours, building ourselves, well, I guess the whole thing was built. We spent the day making it look alright. Looking at this as it is, the only thing I'm kind of having an issue with is this floor here. Also, you can see some stone behind there that we'd have to get to, but it feels like this is just a little bit too flat for my tastes. But other than that, I think this came out really, really well. This is kind of like, I'm really pleased with how this pillar came out. It's really just to divide the room a bit and close it off, but it feels really, really good. Um, we go back here. There's not really much to show back here yet. We have started the long task of I don't want to hop down so you can't because it'll be hard for us to get back up still. But we started the long task of making this not look awful and be exposed. That's going to be a few hours at least, unfortunately, but oh no. Hang on. But yeah, that's okay. So there's this room here. This isn't really going to be much back here. It's just kind of, nice to have access to this back point if you ever want it. There are mobs. It's not lit up below this floor yet, so there are mobs. If we go over here, we can kind of sneak a peek. I don't think we can see anybody in there, but they are in there. um, we'll go down there in just a second. Over here, we've got really big contrast. I was just looking at the footage from before I did any of this, and like, wow, total transformation, huge facelift. So this is your loading chest. This is your cold chest. This button will. So what happens is, it's easier to explain it. Is what happens is if items go into here and then to that chest, and then for some reason there are items here like say there's a bunch of stone. This is full of stone, and there's nowhere for more stone to be in here, but this isn't completely filled. Like, say you've got, an entire thing filled with stone, but then like 12 andesite, and there's no more room for stone. It will never depart because it's waiting to be full or have this be empty. So we've added this button here. If the case is where there are items in this, and there are items in this, then that'll force it to go out. Otherwise, it does nothing. Um, and that's just kind of the easiest fix. I could hide the button, but honestly, I don't find it an issue on the floor there. I might move it. Who knows? Not a big deal. We go down here. This is what I call my skinny wall, because I didn't want to lose any of the distance, but the wall is just the width of the door, just to have somewhere to sleep and overlook this. Um, this right here is really more about breaking up this flat wall, which was super straight and flat otherwise. And of course, we made sure we can see into and access this area, so we can, if we want, we can access this way or uh, through that door. It's really important that you're always able to come underneath and look into your furnaces, just in case, especially while we're still working on this, and I'll show you why. Um, if items make their way, like say I break out a bunch of this, which I am going to do at some point, they'll make their way into these furnaces and stuff, and if it's something that can't be smelted, it'll get stuck there and make that furnace not function. So you do need to be able to come check out these furnaces and access them from time to time. But yeah, that's pretty much all we've managed to do. Oh shoot, the whole other floor. There's a whole other floor. It's not very much just yet. Um, but you go down, this very unnecessary, this just hides the hopper there. You go down here, and that's gonna just wait. So anyway, here we have our way to our enchanter. I'd like to make this a little bit darker if possible. I'm considering a couple ways to look into that, but for now this is the way it is. I'm actually really pleased with the way this came out. You can't really see it, but that's lapis beneath the water there. And then we've actually got an exit that goes out towards the swamp there. This will also, once there's not daylight coming right here, this will also be much darker and it'll be a gloomier, less great feeling place. And we'll probably put some like diamond ore or other, things into the walls just to make it feel a little bit specialer. And also, I think this is going to become a purple glass. But that's in the future. So, here's the selector panel everybody's familiar with. We saw last episode. We made this honestly, a ladder is just as fast. But the idea with this is it's off always. You walk up, and it activates that pressure plate, and it zips you up, and then it deactivates it so you can fall down whenever you want. Um, for longer drops, I'm actually considering one that keeps the bottom on always. And so you'd fall into the water, have it be 1 block lower, and then you just, come out because they would be floating you up. And it would work good, just the same way. And that way you don't have to bother with like block swappers or anything like that. You just do that. Super easy stuff. And actually I meant to show you, we'll be able to curve this. This I think needs to come out just a little bit out this way, but we'll be able to curve around this machine to go into where we'd like to have the additional storage rooms and things like that. Because like I said last episode, this is not the only part of our sorting system we will have. It's just the only part that we do have. And actually, so this is really smart. So this chest here, the smooth stone, we don't really go into the higher, like the deeper points of this for the most part. So I've got that, and then this is the whatever, I think 1.8 ores. And again, we don't go into deeper versions of those for the most part. And so we've got them kind of being the chests that get the arch. Likewise, we've got this is our overflow, and then this is our food. And again, we won't have to go into the other 6 chests. So we still get this archway. We can still access, like, this is regular stone. This is cobblestone, dirt, and sand, gravel, flint. And these are all chests that you need to be accessing, possibly all the way up to the top. We do miss one behind there, but that's not a big deal. And then we still have access to the very top one. So if all of them are already full, except for the top one, you just put in a bunch of stone and it works. Which is very, very, very nice. I think that is all the progress. We did move our beacon. Real quick, we'll hippity-hop our way over into the hole. We did move the beacon a bit because we needed more resources, and we no longer need it here. So it now is much further that way, instead of, I think it was like, yeah, right where you see that hole there. That's where it was. So yeah, that's it. That's all the progress from today. Who knows what tomorrow's progress will be, because I sure don't. That's the one. Alright, so here was another update on what we've been working on. We set up some manual farms around this area to have working, while we do stuff in this area, so that when we do move off and make our awesome super mega farm area, we actually have stuff to plant. Because a mega farm is useless if you have no plants. So we made that stuff over there. It just didn't take super long. We did get ourselves a horse. He's got this cool stable. You get on the horse, it opens the door. You get back in stable, it closes the door, and he can't get out. Very worthwhile. Probably change that to slab, but it doesn't matter too much. And over here, this is of course not what the final product is going to look like. We're working on a creeper farm. And it's going pretty well. This will be operational here probably within an hour and a half. Probably less, but within an hour and a half, I'd say at most. And then we'll, grab a clip of hopefully some creepers doing things with that. Alright, so we got the creepers coming through finally. It's still not very good. We still have a lot of like caves and stuff to light up. But we've got a couple creepers coming through, and they're gonna fall down and splat. Oh, hell yeah. That is the business. It is currently 2 a.m. for me right now, and I am unfortunately awake, and obviously not live. I'm awake because my work schedule was a bit funky this week, which has really screwed up my sleep schedule. I have to be awake for another 4.5 hours before I start work in this morning, and I am about as awake as I've ever been ever in my life. So I've decided to go ahead and take this opportunity to get some just kind of boring, grindy stuff done that I've already made, a bunch of progress on. And I don't think anybody, myself included, would want to see this live. So we're just going to go tackle... Right now we're lighting up some caves, trying to increase the spawn rates in our creeper spawner. And then from here, I think what we're going to try and do is... Actually, I don't know what we're going to do after that. Probably finish up more mining around the beacon, trying to collect resources, just because that's, always something worthwhile, in my opinion, is resource collection. And hopefully by the end of the night, or I suppose the end of the morning? Oh no. The end of the time in which I'm able to play before I have to go to work, we'll have some good progress to show. And we'll touch back in soon. Alright, well I found where all my mobs were. Oh, well that guy's blowing up. Oh boy, yeah. So great. Hopefully this is actually quite an impressive cave here. Hopefully this will increase our spawn rates a good bit, because isn't too far away from where our base is. Alright, we just made it back from that trip caving. We didn't actually finish lighting up the entire cave, it was such a huge cave. As you can see by my huge amount of iron there. It is never a hardship going mining and getting that kind of resource return. We're going to keep incomplete stacks of ore to be, more efficient on coal, because we don't have very much here. The furnaces are okay, but they certainly could be in better shape. So we're going to try and be a little bit more efficient with our coal consumption for a while here. Look at that. Oh my god. I just finished a stack of emerald ore. Oh my word. That is something. Wow. Yeah. So, we decided to turn in, of course, because we were pretty well... Why do I have two of these going? What in the world? We were starting to run low on inventory space. We did have a few mob drops, but they're always good to have, so I don't mind having them. Yeah, that's where that egg should go. So we're probably going to go... let's go ahead and enchant something real quick. We're probably going to go back and do a little bit more, because, there's still more cave to light up. But I think we've done a pretty good job for the area monsters will spawn in caves around this base here. And we're going to go verify that here before we go back to caving. But after, we have a shortcut, which is also after... Hang on, so I actually really want to get an unbreaking shovel, so I can finally have unbreaking on my shovel, for obvious reasons. Please no. Okay, that's fine. We're okay with that. That's fine. Alright, I'm not sure how I started this project, but I've got this slime chunk here I found really, really close. Actually, it's really perfect. So this is exactly one chunk shape, and then the outer wall of it is actually the wall of our beacon tunnel. So, that's lucky as heck that we've got this right on the edge of those slime chunks, and this is a slime chunk. And somehow along my night, I decided to start, clearing this out so that we can start utilizing it. I think it's because I plan on moving the beacon soon, because we're almost out of the beacon's range now, and I want to make sure we've got this slime chunk ready for when that happens, I think was the thought process. I don't know, I've been at this for a few minutes now. It won't take super long. I'm actually considering... What biome we're in? We're in mountain here, right? Yeah, because there's emerald sometime. I was considering, right up until that exact moment there, you watched it happen, that bringing this up to sky limit so you could get way increased spawns for the top layer, but I don't think there's really any purpose to that. Well, there is a purpose, it's just not worthwhile considering how far up we'd have to go in a mountain biome. So we'll just take this probably up to level 40, and we'll have as many spawning layers built in there as possible, and hopefully get some pretty decent slime rates actually would be good. Well, one chunk slime farm can still produce a lot if you build it correctly, and oh good. Alright, that is actually a little bit higher than it needs to be, but good enough, I think. We just kind of got into the rhythm of things. What we'd do is we'd clear out a layer this high, and then we'd remove the roof so it's a 3 high thing. And the reason for that is actually quite easy to show you. Oh, I don't want to do it here now that I'm thinking about it. Hang on. We'll scoot our boots on over to, I don't know, over here. So you go in a straight line this way, right? And so now you want to mine out the ceiling. And so we're going to look straight up and walk down. And if you look, we see we're missing every odd block. But if you do the same thing on another layer here, then you remove this section when you look straight up and just walk over. And so, you just super low attention, you see you get every single block. And so that's what we kept doing all the way up, and I think we're like 2 blocks higher than we need to be. But like I said, that's... Where the heck did you come from? That's totally fine. We don't mind doing, just a couple extra blocks. It doesn't take long at all, right? Anyway, I think that's it for this episode. I'm not sure.